Hello, Cosplay World. This is Knives Rant number 7 now? Wow, I'm getting up there. Anyway, I'm going to try to get one of these up a day, because there's so many things to go over. Today, I'm going to go over Wonderflex. I know I've mentioned it a few times before, so it's about time I start telling you about it in more detail. As I've said before, it's flexible, thermoformable plastic. It comes in a sheet form. I've been doing a lot of sheet materials. Might get into the liquids or the pipes or other forms. Rods, was it bulk material? Yeah. There's all sorts of stuff I classify materials as, but oh well. This is the smooth kind of Wonderflex. The other kind is just this matte. I hope you guys can see the matte texture on here. I'm going to try to get as close as I can. Yeah, this is a smooth side. This is the matte. You want the smooth side because once you start painting it, that matte and the grid comes through crystal clear, and it just bugs me. Texture just bugs the crap out of me. I don't want a sword or a piece of armor that looks like it was made out of something that looks like a cast. Like, it looks really like someone made a cast into a prop or armor or costume or jewelry or things like that. So I prefer the smooth side. This is good, particularly for leather or light type armor. Yes, I actually have a bit of costume over here. This room is a mess. What you can't see on screen, I assure you, is a mess. See, it looks like a gauntlet. It's kind of leathery. Like a Fran costume, all that light, intricate cut work would be perfect for Wonderflex. It wouldn't be for PVC because PVC is much more rigid. Oh, this is PVC, yeah. PVC is much more rigid. This is black PVC. You can just buy black instead of white like I showed you before. And it would probably ding your skin. You wouldn't be as flexible and easy to move in. This is perfect for light armors. It's also good for things that will be coming in contact with your environment, like claws, or long horns, or feet or tails, or things like that, that you expect to get hit every 5 seconds from something. Something that takes a lot of comm damage. This is okay because it goes on my arm. It's unlikely to rub into anything, but if I were making claws, I would do it this way. This can take a hit. This can be hit several times because it bends rather than breaks. Awesome. This is a light material. You can cut through it. What did I just drop? Okay, nothing useful. You can cut right into it with as much detail as you like. You can go in with a X-Acto knife. I wouldn't recommend a hot knife because it's reinforced with the mesh on the back, and the hot knife can snag on that fairly easily. The unique quality that I have not seen in any other material that Wonderflex possesses is that it's self-adhering. When you heat it up with warm water, or I should say hot water, or a hair dryer, or your Mohican, because that's what I use, it does it so much quicker. It will just stick right onto itself. You don't need glues, you don't need sewing, you don't need any of that. Super easy. That is, however, at a cost, because it's kind of a unique item. There's only a few people that sell it. It's rather expensive. I believe it's $55 for something like this, whereas PVC is only $2 a square foot. This is much more expensive. Plus you have to paint it and you have to do all the detail work and finish it and all that. PVC, you can just get the color you want. If you have to do detailing work, okay, well, you'd have to do detailing work anyway with any of the other kind of materials. How about I heat this up for you and show you how it sticks to itself. Now, to get complex shapes, yeah, it's the same. You do it the same way as far as heating as your other plastics. You evenly heat the surfaces with the gun, keeping the air moving, making sure you don't stick or burn it or discolor and things like that. Alright, yeah, that looks pretty soft. That didn't take very long at all. It's only about 1 millimeter thick. So it heats up fairly quickly. And it's already sticking to itself. I kind of have to be careful with it, otherwise it'll stick in some weird way. I'm gonna make the swirl. Yeah. I got kind of yeah, it's already stuck. Nice and nice swirl. Also, you can put darts in it. If you're familiar with swing term, darts are where you cut a opening in it and you bring those two edges together, and it to some extent will blend into itself. If you do a fairly good paint job, it isn't as noticeable. Let's see, there we go. I made just a little bump, and then it's still quite malleable, and you just make it curve. There we go. Guess it's some kind of thumb armor, maybe something like that. But it doesn't take screws very well. If you try and use screws and put a hole through it and screw it to whatever you're doing, it'll rip right through this material. It's very lightweight. What you want to do if you have to sew it or paint it to something else is make a series of holes in it in the same fashion I was using the floor vinyl. Yeah, you go in and you start with a kind of anchor, something you're gonna stick to your fabric or to your sheet material, and put a whole ton of holes in it to spread the load so that not all the pressure is on one of these holes, spread it over all the holes. Here we go. You make a whole bunch of these holes, and then you sew it to your material like the glove. That's how we made this. We made a bunch of anchors, and then we heated this up, and it didn't take very much heat, so you're not damaging your fabric. Yeah, you're not damaging your fabric. You stick it right on to whatever you've made. Let's do that now. I've got two pieces here. I'm going to anchor. I'm going to pretend I've sewn this piece onto this here, and I'm going to then stick this on here. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just stick this on here. It's kind of a weird shape and it probably wouldn't stick very well. Now, you want your anchor to kind of fit into whatever it is you're making too. Surface contact is incredibly important when you're working with the anchor. The more surface contact you make, the more of it sticks. That's probably not that hard to figure out. Okay, so we'll pretend this is mounted to fabric, and we're just gonna stick that right on there. Boom. Now it's on a glove. Now it's not going anywhere. Now Wonderflex is slightly sticky to other surfaces. It'll probably stick on the PVC very easily as long as you keep a lot of surface contact. How about I try and stick it onto this? It's not as strong as it would be if you were sticking it straight to itself, but it works on sheet material. You can stick it onto sheet material. It might help for the sheet material to have a slightly porous surface or a rough surface for it to grab onto. Please don't fall over. Heat gun. Yeah, I don't want my heat gun to tip over and set my place on fire. I'm just going to stick it right on there. It looks kind of like a pus module on the side here. I could paint that up, make it look kind of cool. Trim up the edges. Yeah, it's stuck on there pretty good. Yeah, there we go. So that's how you'd stick it onto either a flexible material, like fabrics, or a rigid material, like a sheet material. It would stick exactly the same to MDF. It's the same MDF I keep pulling out. It's been over there the whole time. Yeah, it doesn't stick very well. I think so. Just peel it right off. You can glue this. You can glue Wonderflex to things, no problem. Varnish it, make a nice hard setting for it. It'll work just fine. It takes the paints. This is all paintwork, spray paint. Then we got acrylic paint. Then we got some other types of paint. We mix some of our own custom paints to do different kind of textures and effects. Because sometimes glow paint, or sometimes we want to put sand in our paint to do different kinds of rusting and stuff like that. What am I talking about paint? Anyway, I'm talking about Wonderflex. This stuff is really good for light armor. It's pretty expensive, but it's very easy to use. It's accessible to most cosplay sites. You've probably seen it a zillion times if you're familiar somewhat with cosplay. Just reviewing it so that I cover all my bases. This is actually pretty cool. I might save it. I don't ever throw away any Wonderflex. Even the scraps, even the little bitty bits of the specs. I put all the specs into a pot, into a ball, because you can take the Wonderflex and reinforce joints with it. If you've got an edge, yeah, say like this, I can heat this up and stick it right in the edge on the inside where no one can see it, and it'll hold that piece together. Wonderful. So never throw away your Wonderflex. Always keep it for reinforcing your work. Yay, self-adhesive. That's its major advantage here. You usually don't need to glue it to anything. This, I bet if I had put a little surface tension on it, made it scratchy and all that stuff, it would have stuck much better. And plus I painted it already and all that. Well, wait. No, that's the black stuff. I didn't paint that. I painted this. What am I talking about? Anyway, this has been Wonderflex. If you like it, you know what to do. If you want to see something specific, you need to tell me. If you think I'm crazy, obviously tell me, all that good stuff. I'll be making one of these a day. Slowing this down, I got work to do. I got Acing coming up. I'll be in the Masquerade. Yay! Good times. Masquerades are fun. Maybe you'll see me backstage if you heard my first rant and are encouraged to go backstage. I believe there's still space, as of today, for walk-ons. I'm pretty sure the skits are gone, and maybe a couple of the novice level competitions. But they have awards and things like that for just regular walk-ons and judges' choice and all that, so you don't count yourself out. And if you don't win anything, it's still fun to get up on stage. You won't be able to really see anyone once you're on stage with all stage lights on you. It would just be a black area out there. And when you're out there, you're thinking about what to do, where to step, and how to get across the stage and look cool. Your concern usually isn't with what people are thinking about you, because you can't make anyone out. Anyway, here I am, Knives, once again, trying to support the cosplay community and all those good things. See you around. Good times to all.